3 friends, 0 comfort. And Job finally says the quiet part out loud, I'd rather take my case straight to God. Zophar is the third friend to speak, and he's the harshest yet. He tells Job that God is actually punishing him less than he deserves. That's the final straw. In chapters 12 through 14, Job stops trying to win the argument with his friends altogether. He basically says, You 3 are worthless doctors, your wisdom will die with you, and I would rather present my case directly to the Almighty than listen to one more speech from you. It's bold, it's borderline reckless. And it's one of the most human moments in the whole book, the point where Job stops performing patience and starts demanding an audience with God himself. Welcome back to Daily Bread Chronicles, day 189 of our journey through Scripture with BibleProject's one story that leads to Jesus' reading plan. Today, we're in Job 11 through 14, and Job's patience officially runs out. Let's get into it. You can follow the full plan for free at BibleProject.com. Job 11 gives us Zophar, the third and final friend, and by far the most cutting. His logic is brutal. Know that God has forgotten some of your sin. In other words, Job isn't being punished too harshly. If anything, he's getting off easy. There's no comfort here at all, just accusation dressed up as theology. Job's response in chapters 12 to 13 is a turning point. He's done being polite. Job 12, 2-3. Doubtless you are the only people who matter, and wisdom will die with you. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Then Job says something that would have sounded almost blasphemous to his friends. Job 13:3. But I desire to speak to the Almighty and to argue my case with God. Job isn't rejecting God. He's rejecting secondhand theology. He wants to stop hearing about God from people who've clearly never sat where he's sitting, and instead take his case directly to the source. He'd rather risk an actual confrontation with the Almighty than keep absorbing more confident-sounding nonsense from friends who think they've got it all figured out. Did you know the Hebrew word Job uses for argue my case, yakach, the same root from Job 9:33's mediate, is legal courtroom language. Job isn't throwing a tantrum. He's formally requesting a hearing. He wants due process with God, not more armchair verdicts from his friends. Chapter 14 shifts into something quieter and sadder, Job reflecting on how brief human life is. Like a flower springs up and withers. But even there, buried in the despair, he asks a question that echoes forward through the whole Bible. If someone dies, will they live again? Job doesn't get the answer yet, but he's asking the right question. Have you ever felt like you'd rather take something straight to God than hear one more person's opinion about your situation? Tell me below. Zophar chapter 11. Then Zophar the Naamathite replied, Are all these words to go unanswered? Is this talker to be vindicated? Will your idle talk reduce others to silence? Will no one rebuke you when you mock? You say to God, My beliefs are flawless, and I am pure in your sight. Oh, how I wish that God would speak, that he would open his lips against you and disclose to you the secrets of wisdom, for true wisdom has 2 sides. Know this, God has even forgotten some of your sin. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and wider than the sea. If he comes along and confines you in prison and convenes a court, who can oppose him? Surely he recognizes deceivers, and when he sees evil, does he not take note? But the witless can no more become wise than a wild donkey's colt can be born human. Yet if you devote your heart to him and stretch out your hands to him, if you put away the sin that is in your hand and allow no evil to dwell in your tent, then free of fault you will lift up your face. You will stand firm and without fear. You will surely forget your trouble, recalling it only as waters gone by. Life will be brighter than noonday, and darkness will become like morning. You will be secure, because there is hope. You will look about you and take your rest in safety. You will lie down with no one to make you afraid, and many will court your favor. But the eyes of the wicked will fail, and escape will elude them. Their hope will become a dying gasp. Job, chapter 12. Then Job replied, "Doubtless you are the only people who matter, and wisdom will die with you. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Who does not know all these things? I have become a laughingstock to my friends, though I called on God and he answered. A mere laughingstock, though righteous and blameless. Those who are at ease have contempt for misfortune as the fate of those whose feet are slipping. The tents of marauders are undisturbed, and those who provoke God are secure. Those God has in his hand. But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. Does not the ear test words as the tongue tastes food? Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? To God belong wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Those he imprisons cannot be released. If he holds back the waters, there is drought. If he lets them loose, they devastate the land. To him belong strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties a loincloth around their waist. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established. He silences the lips of trusted advisers and takes away the discernment of elders. He pours contempt on nobles and disarms the mighty. He reveals the deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness into the light. He makes nations great and destroys them. He enlarges nations and disperses them. He deprives the leaders of the earth of their reason. He makes them wander in a trackless waste. They grope in darkness with no light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. Chapter 13. My eyes have seen all this. My ears have heard and understood it. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you, but I desire to speak to the Almighty and to argue my case with God. You, however, smear me with lies. You are worthless physicians, all of you. If only you would be altogether silent. For you, that would be wisdom. Hear now my argument. Listen to the pleas of my lips. Will you speak wickedly on God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you show him partiality? Will you argue the case for God? Would it turn out well if he examined you? Could you deceive him as you might deceive a mortal? He would surely call you to account if you secretly showed partiality. Would not his splendor terrify you? Would not the dread of him fall on you? Your maxims are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of clay. Keep silent and let me speak, then let come to me what may. Why do I put myself in jeopardy and take my life in my hands? Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance, for no godless person would dare come before him. Listen carefully to what I say. Let my words ring in your ears. Now that I have prepared my case, I know I will be vindicated. Can anyone bring charges against me? If so, I will be silent and die. Only grant me these two things, God, and then I will not hide from you. Withdraw your hand far from me and stop frightening me with your terrors. Then summon me and I will answer, or let me speak, and you reply to me. How many wrongs and sins have I committed? Show me my offense and my sin. Why do you hide your face and consider me your enemy? Will you torment a windblown leaf? Will you chase after dry chaff? For you write down bitter things against me and make me reap the sins of my youth. You fasten my feet in shackles. You keep close watch on all my paths by putting marks on the soles of my feet. So man wastes away like something rotten, like a garment eaten by moths. Chapter 14. Mortals born of woman are of few days and full of trouble. They spring up like flowers and wither away. Like fleeting shadows they do not endure. Do you fix your eye on them? Will you bring them before you for judgment? Who can bring what is pure from the impure? No one. A person's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months and have set limits he cannot exceed. So look away from him and let him alone, till he has put in his time like a hired laborer. At least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground, and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. But a man dies and is laid low. He breathes his last and is no more. As the water of a lake dries up or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so he lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, people will not awake or be roused from their sleep. If only you would hide me in the grave and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me a time and then remember me. If someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service I will wait for my renewal to come. You will call and I will answer you. You will long for the creature your hands have made. Surely then you will count my steps but not keep track of my sin. My offenses will be sealed up in a bag. You will cover over my sin. But as a mountain erodes and crumbles, and as a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stones and torrents wash away the soil, so you destroy a person's hope. You overpower them once for all, and they are gone. You change their countenance and send them away. If their children are honored, they do not know it. If their offspring are brought low, they do not see it. They feel but the pain of their own bodies and mourn only for themselves. That's Job 11 through 14 for day 189. If this reading is feeding your soul, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it today. Tomorrow we continue in Job, chapters 15 through 19, with Psalm 35. Until then, remember, God can handle your honest questions better than secondhand answers ever could. God bless you, and I will see you in the Word tomorrow.